No, down here, Long Island, Brooklyn, the city, we could get multiple feet of snow from each storm. That doesn't happen often, but normally there's at least 1 to 2 foot or more storms down here every winter. Then you'll get your normal, so you'll get your foot, and then a week later you'll get half a foot, and it just compounds on itself. But yeah, if there is no snow by Monday, the 31st, or Tuesday, whatever the 31st is, it will be the longest time in history since 1973 that there has been no snow in this area.
Wow, 1973 is history now, huh?
It is, it is. My brother was born in 1973.
And how old am I?
Well, I was born in 1980, so I'm 42, and 1980 is a friggin' long time ago. But I will say, I think I was born in the best decade.
Yeah, I think I got you beat. I got you beat. I was born in '60, and I think the late '60s was rocket.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Late 60s and the 80s. Two good partying years.
Yes, we surely lived the time. These kids nowadays don't know what they're missing. They just don't know. All these gadgets are stealing their youth.
That's it. That's hold on one second. All right, good. That's all they do, bro. You know, I was talking to my kids, my wife and I were talking to my kids the other day, and they go to Catholic school, so they have kids in their class that are from all different towns on Long Island, right? You know, some kids are probably bused from like an hour away. And we're always like, okay, oh, your friend Jimmy, where does he live? Or your friend Sally, where does she live? And they're like, we have no idea. These kids don't ask each other where they live. Or if they meet a new kid at the park, they don't, because when we were kids, we needed to know where they lived if we ran into some kid in the park. Because if we liked them and wanted to play with them, we got to figure out how far away from the house they are. But that is a non-event for these kids now because they just go in their bedroom, they click a button, and they're in like a 4-way call with all these kids. It doesn't matter where they live.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and plus mom would want to know where they live. It's like, you know, if you were going to go hang out at your friend's house, it's like, where do they live? What part of town is this in? Who are you going to be hanging out with? How old are the kids there? You had all these questions.
Right. Now, it's all on their phone or their tablet or their laptop. Or in my son's case, he'll put on his VR headset and he's in a whole new world with them.
Right. Yeah, we lived a better part of this country, better part of life, I think, the older generation. We've done things, and, you know, I think it brought out artistic and talent, mechanical, all kinds of different talents in us from the way we interacted with the world. And they're not doing that now. So I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe that's why some of these what do they call this generation? Not the millennial, the Gen X. Is it, what do they call this generation? Whatever they call this generation now, they have lost their imagination. Everything's done in software. And then, you know, then they have to make it reality. What they can't make reality, they just leave in the software world and they deal with it. They have no real creativeness, you know, because they haven't been out in the world.
Yeah. So I'm Gen X. The new ones, the newest one, Gen Z.
Oh, Gen Z. Okay. All right. Yes, I didn't keep track. So. Yeah, they have so much hatred in them, hating them, they're frustrated and angry. Probably because they didn't live life like we did.
Yeah, absolutely. They all think they're owed something. That's a whole nother thing. KB2, UKA. What do you have to think about all this, Dwayne?
Well, times have changed, that's for sure, and I guess we have no choice but to go with the flow.
Yeah, well, when things are real bad, we have to resist it. The resistance must stand.
Yeah, but it's definitely different from back in the day. I was born in '61. It was a whole different situation back then than it is now. So I feel sorry for the new parents today. I mean, they definitely got their work cut out for them. I'll be right back when I get my coffee. W3DEP.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah, definitely self-inflicted. 100%.
We used to have concerts in the park. You know, the local bands that wanted to get popular would do free concerts in the park. And you go to these free concerts and you get to see everybody actually. And we didn't know it back then. Yeah, we got to see Metallica before they were a name. All those bands and stuff like that. And there's none of that going on now. It's not like they go, oh, we're going to go to the free concert in the park. I don't think I ever hear kids. I don't think they ever do. I don't even think they do that anymore.
No. Very, very rare. They'll do it now and then in Central Park in the city. We have a couple of venues on the island where that'll happen. But wow, you saw Metallica before. You saw them probably. That's one of their first albums, which wasn't even released until probably decades later. What was that? Garage Days? Was that? Does that sound familiar?
No, I don't remember. I have in the shed. I need to pull it down. An album. I want to say it was Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin was coming through town one time, and we had these albums that they just made, and they were giving them away, to become popular or something to that effect. And I got an autographed album. But yeah, we saw a lot of them. I think I remember Metallica opening it up for Aerosmith at the Monster of Rock concert. I can't give it the year, but it was way back in the day. It was called the Monster of Rock concert, and they opened up for the other band, and then next thing you know, a couple of years later, they're a big popular band themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. I was never big into concerts. I never gave a crap. I love music, but I don't know. I guess I'd rather listen to it with a pair of headphones.
It was the winter, and we were in the nosebleed section of the bleachers. Everybody had blankets. It was like a continuous blanket going through the bleachers. One blanket connected to the other. It was packed, and there was people up there smoking weed. And one of the singers, one of the band players, turned around and got on the microphone and said, "We know what you're doing up there."
Oh yeah, well that still goes on. I've gone to that'll always go on, and now more than ever, because now it's so accepted. Really cool play. The few concerts that I've seen as an adult, I saw them at you remember Jones Beach, Dominic, I'm sure. They have the Jones Beach amphitheater, and I saw 311 there. A lot of big bands play there in the summer. And it's really cool. It's outdoors. The ocean it's right on the ocean. It's very, very cool.
Oh yeah, been there a couple of times. And in Queens, Forest Park. Did you see the theater, the amphitheater there in Forest Park?
Yes, if I'm correct, that's near Woodhaven, right? Like you cut through there and you get to Woodhaven. I think my mother grew up in Woodhaven, and I don't know, about a year ago, we had to go to a funeral, and I had to take her, and she had me go the way that brought you past Forest Park, so I feel it's right there.
Right. When you're going up that road, I forget the famous hotel that's up there. But anyway, when you're going up that road, you make a left into Forest Park. You go through the parkway, and it was a half a dome, like it was a half a sphere. I remember the bands going up there, and they used to do the light shows. You know, when they played, they'd have the lights on the performers up on the background of the sphere, and I thought that was so awesome the way they did that. And then that was called the Dome. That's what we called it, the Dome. I don't know if that was like an official name or what, but back then it was known as the Dome. And yeah, I went to plenty of outdoor free concerts there. Those were also bands that became popular later on would play there.
Yeah, very cool. Very, very cool stuff. Man, everybody else has been sleeping in lately on the weekends.
Yeah, cold. Let's go sleep. Well, I think Art was up late last night, and so was Richard, and Frank was in there. Frank wasn't sounding too good. I think he's got a cold or something. I don't know who else was in there. I forget. Oh, Scott was in there. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Those were some good times back then. The memories that are just flooding in right now. You know, the things you put in the back of your mind you don't remember. You know, I don't even think I can't even remember any friends that I still talk to from back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I was on last night before everybody. I was on with DJ and I think you, Dwayne, right? Yeah. DJ, Dwayne, then Jeff jumped in. Then I left, and then I guess everybody else jumped in.
Oh, yeah. W4G, that's funny.
KB2 UKA.
Yeah, I think I signed last night, what was it, about maybe 20 to 10 or something, 10 till 10?
Yeah, you were in there. You signed, and then Chip was in there.
You guys were here? Were the conditions good up until then?
Oh, yeah.
That's great. What time on 80 that late? Can you go like 1, 2 in the morning, or does it die out?
No, it actually gets better as it gets later.
Wow, and then as the sun, and then it dies off now.
Right. Well, if I get in here at like 4 o'clock in the morning too sometimes, and I go through the band, there's still guys up from the night before.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
So you got the new Protocol 2 to work?
Oh, it's flawless, Dominic. Yeah. I used, I just said, let me try this once to see it, because half the guys are getting it to work, half the guys aren't. Like I've been reading on the community page. So I used Revo on installer, and I wiped out Thetis. And then there's a hidden directory inside the roaming directory. I wiped that out. I then went into my bootloader and I installed Protocol 2. I then reinstalled Thetis and I let it go through its sequencing. That takes about 15 minutes. And then I friggin' turned it on. And everything was working. I went to Pure Signal. I hit the button. It didn't work. I went into the Pure Signal menu. I turned something off. It worked. And then I turned it back on and it continued to work.
Do you think maybe if you would have done that before reinstalling and everything, and wiping out the registries, do you think it would have been just that, turning that thing off and then back on to make it work? Would have done it?
No, because I tried that. I tried that before I did the wipe.
Okay. There you go, Dwayne. I'll let you pick it up with him. I know Dwayne's probably got questions. I'm going to stand by him in W40.
Eventually, I'm going to try it. My coupler, I believe, should be coming in here Wednesday. I talked to a friend of mine last night. He got his license probably a year ago. He has yet to come up here. Maybe one time we said something on the lower band. And he checked his radio last night. He runs the Unknown 7000, and he bought his is a little over a year old. And I talked to him. He has two computers, AC3KP is his call sign. And I talked him into downloading on his other computer the newer Ethos program, which is 2.906. And when he fired his up, which was strange, Doug, he fired his up. His came with Protocol 2 already installed and got his way before I got my radio. But it was Protocol 2 point, what was it, 2 point, and the end was 10, which is now it's up to 26. But his radio, which is so strange, came with Protocol 2.
So before our radios, so you said his is over a year old. So he either got it in like January of 22 or in 21. They were shipping them with Protocol 2. And then when our radios had the new chipset, they went back and started shipping with Protocol 1. So yeah, those guys that had it like a year and a half before ours, they all got Protocol 2. And then the guys that have ones that are older, like 2020, 19, those were Protocol 1. So yeah, it's crazy. I saw somebody tuning in there. Anyone else on frequency? I guess not. Yeah, so you'll get it to work, Dwayne. It's going to work. And I agree. Wait till you get the coupler, get it all set up hardware-wise, and then do the wipe.
What I like to find, I tried to look last night, and I could not find it. I want to run you said the 07 is out? I looked for 07. I could not find it anywhere on the web.
So someone emailed it to me. I could send it to you. I installed it, and I didn't do any reading on it. There's something you got to place something in a specific folder to get the detachable S meter to work right. And I ran it. It turned on. The S meter was detachable, but there was no image in the window. So I just deleted it and went back to the old one. I'm going to wait for the next update that Richie does.
Okay, maybe I should do the same. I don't want to run into problems right away, so I guess I'll just wait. That answered the question I had in the back of my mind anyways.
Yeah, but I just was lazy. Anyone using it, I think it's working fine. I think Art's using it.
Yeah, I figure if I'm going to go ahead and go back to Protocol 2 again, I was going to download the 7, 2.9.0.7, and this way here I would start out fresh with the latest and the greatest.
You could definitely give that a shot. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I should have done that.
That was my mind thought anyways on it.
Hey, Dominic.
Yeah.
So when I ran, it's crazy. When I ran the Revo uninstaller for Thetis, you have no idea what this software does to the registry, what it adds to it. It's like loads and loads of information.
Oh, you're talking about Thetis?
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be so many different subdirectories in the registry that it affected.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, it should. Once you uninstall a program, the registry entries should be dead. The only problem is that it's a sloppy uninstall for the program because it doesn't remove them. So when you go and reinstall the software, a lot of that stuff is still there. It may not be able to, when you reinstall it, may not be able to overwrite the registries with the new information. And that's a shame. It's just, Richie needs to just tidy up his uninstall a little bit.
Yeah, that's it. It's got to look for the same stuff that Revo is looking for and remove it.
Right. And there's a lot of software guys do that because they think that once they don't care what they leave behind the registry because once you install the program, if they even think you're gonna, there's some of them are so vain that they don't think you're gonna uninstall their software, and they don't bother with the removal of those registry keys. They just leave them behind, and that's what happens Windows, it gets bloated after a while because even though those registry keys aren't being used by a program, they still get read periodically, and then over time those registry keys add up, and it fills up and slows the machine down. It's just crazy. I think Windows should be able to come back in and clean up the registry on its own, and I think there might be a tool to do that. I'm not sure, but I need to check that. But the people that write the software should do a better job with their uninstall program, the uninstall process.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I went into regedit, and because I needed to go in there to check the network throttling, and that was all set appropriately. And I was able to see where everything was wiped out for Thetis.
Revo is you got to buy that, huh?
I believe there is a free version. I bought the Pro because I just did, but I think and everything that you need it to do, the free version will do.
Yeah, let me throw something out at you guys, because I've dealt with these kind of programs before. Be very careful what you remove, because sometimes Revo or programs like that will report dead registries. Does not necessarily mean they're dead. They're just not used at this time. They may be there for other future updates. So, be specific when you go in there and you remove stuff. Don't just go with the idea like, oh, just let it remove all these bad entries. That's probably not a good idea. You know what I mean?
So I was worried about that, and every single line item in the registry that it wanted to remove either had the word Thetis in it or Open HPSDR. So I said, screw it, and I removed it all. But I was worried about that.
Yeah, but that's the thing is some people won't take the time and read what Revo will show you what it's going to remove or what it found, and nobody takes the time to look there and look at the list to see if it's going to take anything else out that has nothing to do with the target. Yeah, so just be careful, Dwayne, when you run that, because you don't want to tickle something.
Well, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I just did a typical uninstall. Then after I did the uninstall, I went back in there and I know where the folders were stored, and I deleted the folder manually. I think it was after roaming. Then you go into OpenSDR, then you see the folder that's there, and I deleted that manually. And then mine did the fresh install after that. Went through the whole 9 yards with the DOS and everything else. So I'm going to do the same thing I did this time around here.
Okay, here's the thing. When you do that, it's a good idea because you're manually doing it. When you go underneath users and there's different accounts, the default account, the admin account, I guess, and then your account, and whoever else's account has ever been set up on the machine. You can go through all of those accounts and go get rid of the directory and all of them. You know what I mean? The directories that are underneath there. And then each one of those users will have a roaming and have a local and whatnot like that. Look at all of them, and then you go in there and select and remove them. With the registry, you can search the registry. You go in there, you go to the top of the tree, you hit find. You can just put the word Thetis in it, and then boom. And then what was the other thing you saw in there? H what?
It's what is it? It's hold on, I'm gonna give you the actual name because I'm in it right now. Open HPSDR.
So those are the two things you look for: Thetis and Open the HDS or DR. You look for those two keywords inside the registry when you go to use the find, and then you can go in there and manually delete the registry keys that don't exist. Sometimes, it'll be like, oh, it's going to go to all these little subdirectories, but the main parent directory, the Thetis, will be there, and all those other subdirectories will be underneath it. Subkeys. You just need to delete the parent one, and that'll wipe them all out. And then, after you've done searching the registry for that stuff, and there's no more of that left, then you reboot and you're clean.
Yeah, that's the other thing, Dwayne. Whether you do it manually or you use Revo, before you launch Thetis, before you reinstall Thetis, shut the machine down and reboot it.
Yeah, I always have a good habit of anytime I fool with uninstalls, I reboot regardless if it asks for it or not. I just automatically do that. I just think if we get hung up in Windows or something that it might be holding something back, I don't take a chance. I just do a total reboot automatically.
Yep, it wipes anything in the cache, right, Dominic?
Right. Because Windows reads that stuff when it boots up. That's it. And, well, glad you got it running, and maybe Dwayne will get it running.
Yeah, Dwayne, he'll get it running, and then I want to walk Jeff through it. Jeff could get it running too.
Right.
Good morning, Art.
Good morning, Arthur.
Hello, Arthur.
Hello. Good to hear you, Doug, Dwayne, Dom. Not sure who else is out here. N4QNT. Just first cup of coffee.
Well, it's Dom and Dwayne and Doug, and now Art. You sounding great. I'm on cup number 2, and we're just sitting here, Art, talking about how to get Protocol 2 to work on the new chipset, and mine's been flawless since the install, and it's like a brand new radio.
Excellent. Yeah, I've been eager to catch up with you, Doug, because I keep notes. I have a little log here for certain situations, so I know how to address. So, for future reference, even like, Captain Darren is on his way to get his up and running. I think he's going to come to terms to just get acquainted with the radio first, with what it's delivered with Pro 1, which I think is a good idea. Let him learn the radio, get him familiar with Thetis and all the background drop-down menus and such. And then when he's ready, go with it. So my question is I presume you're using the 2.9.06 64-bit Thetis, whatever that version, unless you're using another one. I'd like to know, the version. And then what exact version of Pro 2 are you running firmware as far as that whole sequence, the whole number?
All right, so yes, I'm using .6 Thetis. Costa, I think Costa. He sent me .7 a month or so ago, and I just never installed it. But I'm using .6 still. And then the firmware, which I have saved, is Protocol 2 it's Metis Orion MK3 Protocol 2 V2.1.26 Charlie.
Wow. All right. I'm happy. That's what I was hoping for. I had an idea. I was thinking that you would do that. You would try the latest Mark III, which really, by the way, is referenced, and I know you know this, but the letter C's in Charlie was let's see. Oh, no, that's right. No, that's right. So Mark III. See, and this is where the discrepancy is coming. They have and you probably know this, they have another Protocol 2 that's referenced with Mark III, but it has a different letter in there meant for the newest chipset that just arrived. And like Richard, QQ, Richard, the gentleman that's joined us now recently, he has it where it's stenciled on the face of his radio. Mark III is on the radio now, and now that requires a whole different Protocol 2 for the serial number range. So I guess you got it going, with that C, of course, that was causing glitches with your signal. So that's what I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah. So on the community page, and it's confusing. It's confusing if you don't slow down. They have a thread. I'm sure you've seen it, and the thread has Protocol 2 for all 3 chipsets. And what they do is they name the chipset with the coding of the chipset, which no one friggin' knows what chipset they're like, what the numbers are in the chipset. And then they list the radios under it with the serial number. The confusing part is they still refer to my radio that was delivered in July and Dwayne's radio and Jeff's radio as a Mark III, where technically, because they branded it this way, it's a Mark II with its updated chipset. Then the next section, it also says Mark III. So my protocol 2 says Mark III, but you have to download the Mark III that has the right serial number set. And even I checked it. I looked at my serial number. I looked at what they said. It's going to be like 800 and up or whatever the number was. And that's the one I have. So for Dwayne, me, Frank, Jeff, the one that I have in my saved folder, that's the right one. For Captain Darren, for Richard, I guess if his says Mark III, that's the last one that I don't have saved. They've got to download the third one.
W4D on my 48. Good morning, mate.
And 4QN2.
KB2 UKA.
Exactly right. You're spot on.
Ooh, Dave's in there. Good morning, Dave.
Good morning, Doug. Hey, what's going on, man? What's happening, Dom? Hi, Art.
Robert! Hey, man. Wow. Good to hear you.
Can you guys hear me? Womp womp.
No, 5 over.
Oh, that's not bad for 100 watts.
30 over here.
All right. And Mike is in there.
Morning, Mike.
Good morning, all.
Morning, Mike.
Morning, Mike. I hear you low, but I copy.
Good morning, Mike. Mike's like, wait till I get that look.
Yeah, he's a little bit weak on me too, but I heard him.
So if I ordered a Lux right now, I'm waiting a year. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I'd say 10 months.
All right. So if I order it now, it'll be here for Christmas, most likely.
It's going to be a year. It may be 8 months. 10 months that you get to pay for it, but it's going to take them 2 months to get it to you.
So that would give me an additional 300 watts, and I would literally have to do legal limit because my tuner is only rated for legal limit. So I couldn't even like push it. Like if I wanted to be very bad and do 1800, I couldn't do that.
Well, that's on the tuner. You know, some people's ratings are conservative.
Well, that's true. That's true. Yes, I know I'm not supposed to. I'm speaking hypothetically, Dominic. Hypothetically, if I wanted to put fire in the sky.
Yeah, Dom, those tuners are pretty stout. What are they rated at? I know he has the outdoor version, but it's the same internals as what you're using. I thought those were pretty good, PEP2K.
They are very good. And they tell you that when you hit 1,530 watts, 1,550 watts, it's a reduced power. And everything around it. But it's legally bound by 1,530 watts.
I got it.
So it won't allow you to push it to the limit. It reduces.
Hey, Doug.
Yes, David.
I have a antenna tuner that's rated at 275 watts. That numerous times in front of witnesses, I've put 2,000 watts of carrier through it.
Oh, is that the big one you're using with the rolling inductor?
No, that's a little Johnson matchbox that I paid $40 or $50 or $60 for. The 275 small Johnson matchbox. If the switch is clean, you can dump a crap load of power into one of them.
Oh wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. So if I'm gonna continue to use this vertical until we move, that's the other thing, Art. I could just, if I wanted to run a lot of power, I could just get a different tuner.
Well, who pushed this tuner to the limit that can more or less confirm? I mean, I know, Dom, you've been conservative with your, I'm not sure if you had a prior setup before we met where you were legal limit headroom, but I know, I'm wondering, I'm talking sideband now, not a carrier, like Dave just mentioned. There's a carrier rating and there's a sideband rating. Like this HF Auto. I mean, really, on sideband, it could see 3K all day long, but they rated at 1.8. So I think that MFJ weatherized auto tuner outdoors on sideband can definitely hit 2K sideband no time.
Oh, well, I don't know about the outdoor one, but the indoor one as well. As soon as it reads anything over 1,500, it's not exact. I think they're all a little different. But anything just over 1,500, it'll put the amp to standby. It'll come up on the LCD screen and say, ouch, reduce power.
Yeah, and I see my LCD screen's outside. So the only way I would know is with the external watt meter if it was pulling power down, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, in your case, it'll probably, well, they can't put the amp in standby, but you probably see, I don't know what it would do. I don't know. I don't have the off key, so I don't know what it would do. Mine controls my amplifier. My key line goes through my tuner, and the tuner controls whether the amp key's up or not.
Well, I could call MFJ and see what they say.
Yeah, I don't know what the R key does, but
They're pretty much identical inside, except for the LCD being outside. But all right, I'm curious. I mean, I'd like to know who. I think Captain Darren has one, if I remember. And I know he's got the big OM, that can go over 2K. So that would be an interesting test.
well, back in the day, I can tell you, the inside one will definitely put the amp to standby, and it'll say reduce power.
Oh, okay. So that's what I was at. That's what I was wondering. So you did have that set up back then. Okay, I got you.
Yes, we ran some heavy power back then too. The RT now, I don't know. The RT doesn't control the keying of the amplifier. It's independent out there. Where this one here has key line going to the amplifier, so it can mix it in the butt. I don't know what the RT would do outside. What happened when you have you done it, Doug, with the RT? Ran over 1,500, and did it turn around and what did it do in the station?
No, I can't get the Mercury to get to 1,500 without it blowing up, without it shutting down. So no, I've never, 13, probably like 1,350 was the most that I ever ran through it.
Oh, I wonder what, I guess narrow do you got at?
Wait, what was that?
Captain Darren may know because he's got that big amp over there. Well, had a big amp over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask him if he ever pushed it like past the limit to see what would happen. I run this thing. The most I run the Mercury is 1,100, maybe 1,150. I keep it under the 1,200 that it's rated for.
And you have 240 supplied to it?
Negative, no.
Oh, wow. You know what? I was looking at that last night. I was reading guys talking about how much power they get out from 110 or 120 versus 240. And a lot of guys saying you need the 240 to do 1,200 watts. And then there was other guys like, hell no, I get that out with 120. And they're like, oh, but it runs too hot that way. Blah, 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 blah. I couldn't. Have you ever looked through the Facebook forum?
Yes, except I was booted from the Mercury Facebook page over a year ago because they were becoming fanboys and they couldn't take criticism. But that's neither here nor there. What I have noticed, and I'm looking at it right now, okay, so my external meter right now says right now I'm running just about 1,050, okay? And If there is a lot of drain on my power system in the house, the meter on the mercury is saying 850, 900. It's not matching the external meter, but the external meter is true. That's what's coming out of the amp. So when I have all the power in the house shut off, then the mercury matches the external meter.
What's the SWR and the external meter looking at, and what's the mercury looking at for SWR or reflective power? Also, what's the temperature of the mercury at that kind of output? And I got a phone call. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, if someone will help me remember, my SWR is 1.2 here on the external. The external is about 1,050 to 1,100 watts. And my temperature right now, because I've been talking a little bit longer, is 39 degrees Celsius.
All right, I'll be right back. I got to see you on the phone, guys. Carry on up.
Yep, and I have, right now I have 10 watts, about 8 watts reflected.
Okay, 4GZ.
And 4QNK.
KB2, UKA, and I'm starting to lose Dominic. And Art, you're lighter than you were 10 minutes ago. So, like clockwork, right around 8 o'clock.
There'll be a 3 DEP.
Yeah, it's starting to happen. We might have to make the shift soon here, but real quick. So, Dave, catch up a little bit. What's been going on, man? We haven't heard you in a while. You take a radio break, a little sabbatical?
Oh, a little bit, but I've been hanging out with the wife and been doing lots of housework, and yard work and field and woods work and garage and blah 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 all summer long and fall, and trying to get caught up on stuff I got behind on working them long hours at the other place. So most of that, I got the radio room tore all apart. I'm just on the radio and antenna because I've got everything disassembled. I'm building new shelves and rearranging.
Got it. All right. Okay. Hey, good to hear you, man. I know we've been a little, I know I asked Paul a little bit while kind of the same thing. I was just wondering. So got it from you. Excellent. Well, good to hear you, man.
Yeah, so when I get done, I'll have I'll have 3 tuners set up. I'll have 2 sets of ladder lines coming through my Lexington window, and all my coaxes and my bus bar right outside connected to my ground rods that are all tied together, with the main one, and my layout will be better. I won't be going left and right. Everything will be flowing in one direction till it gets to the tuners and out. Making the place neater, so I'll have one antenna connected to one link couple tuner and another antenna connected to the homebrew link couple tuner, and then it'll work out real good. And I'll have an amp hooked up on each one.
Oh, nice. Okay, so rearranging and setting up different stations, antennas, tuners, great. That's excellent. Oh, good. Good to hear you. It's been a little while. Yeah, we're still doing, we got some new guys that have come in, which has been great, and the group's growing, and you probably even noticed on Rumble, so it's so this is what happens, as you know, about this time in the morning on this band. It's like, oh boy, here we go, the guys in the north and we're in the south, and we usually find that spot on 40, so I'll play by ear here in the next 10-20 minutes.
Oh yeah, well you're still coming in good. Did Dominic come back yet?
He said he was on the phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I still hear everybody. Doug, how are you copying me?
You are 5'9", plus a tiny little bit there, David. Sounding great. You're so like Art is 5'9". But what starts happening? I don't know. In the Carolinas, the volume gets attenuated, but your volume is still strong.
I was going to ask you, how's the audio on this? Not, necessarily the loudness, but how's the audio on this rig? This is my own backup rig.
Yep, I think I heard John it a week or two ago. Crisp and bright and punchy, just the way I like it.
Yeah.
And real quick, Dave, one reference about the lux and running the different voltages.
Yeah, go ahead, Art.
Yeah, it's all about sideband versus CW. If you're a CW operator and you go at it pretty good, you're going to definitely want, that's what they recommend too first when you're running a lot of CW. Sideband, 110 works great. You can push it 1200, whatever it's rated at. And then the other thing is FT8. So it's all about the duty cycle. So they don't recommend running a lot of FT8 or CW on 110. So that's the theory.
And it's the balance on your AC lines feeding your house, too.
Right. So I would assume that that includes AM as well.
100% on AM.
And FM.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think my 1200 watts for the setup that I have is more than adequate. And when I get a big 160 meter sky loop or a big 160 meter doublet with a 5,000 kilowatt tuner, then we could talk about more power.
In 3 or more.
Good morning, Mark.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mark, from Dave.
Morning, Dave.
Good morning, Mark from Dwayne.
Morning, Dwayne.
Dave, you're strong in here. You're still 30 over. I'm not sure your location, but I have you here 30 over.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're strong, too. I'm 25 miles southwest of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes, so Dwayne, you are the strongest on me, so that means 80 is shortening up. Dave, you are just as strong as Dwayne, if not maybe a little less. And Mark is strong. The Carolina boys are starting to fade on me.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a big tuner coming in.
Yeah, and, I'm just running 100 watts, too.
That's amazing.
Is that a little gooder?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Now you're as loud as Dwayne and David.
That's more better.
Yeah, I had to let the tubes warm up.
All right.
Ah, Bill, good morning.
Hello, stranger. Bill from Dave.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Doc. How's it going, buddy?
Good, Dave. Take it. Good, Bill.
Oh, going great, Bill. So you're sounding good.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Man, you're booming here.
Morning, Bill.
Morning, Bill.
Morning.
Yeah, it's like the old times this morning. We got everybody in here.
Good morning, Bill. Can Art step away?
He'll be right back.
Oh, thanks. Morning, Dominic. What do you eat? Me? I'm not eating anything. I'm not yet. I gotta wait. Oh, okay, me too. Yeah, I'm just joking with you. I thought you was having breakfast already, but no, just pulling your chain a little bit. My mouth it's morning now, Yeah, I got one cup of coffee and I'm probably gonna head for another one here shortly. I might do a second cup this morning too. It's pretty chilly outside. It's 32 right now. It was 33 a little while ago. I don't know why the temperature dropped there. It should be going the other way.
31 degrees at HIA.
All right, guys. I'm going to go look on 40 meters. Let's see how we do. I'll put it in signal. KB2 UKA.
All right, sir.
Talking to some up in Canada, and it was a lot of fun. We had a good time, and let's see, trying to remember who's Canada chicks from.
And it was somebody that was retiring from singing the weir. Immediately, that kind of thing.
This is KB2 UKA is the frequency in use.
Lima, the time is 1 p.m.
This is KB2 UKA is the frequency in use. This is KB2 UKA is the frequency in use.
KC1 ATWB, 트윈KM입니다. Good morning입니다. 네네, BH3KM, 여기는 시선입니다. 반갑습니다. 어떻게 한 주간 잘 보내셨는지요? 저는 지금 뉴햄프셔에 와 있습니다. 그래서 대략 한
This is KB2 UKA is the frequency in use. This is KB2 UKA is the frequency in use. This is KB2 UKA nothing heard. Standing by for the group. KB2 UKA standing by for the group. This is KB2 UKA standing by. KB2 UKA standing by for the group.
Be right in, Doug. I got a tune.
All right, Bill. Well, you're 10 over already. This is KB2 UKA standing by.
Okay, 1WIL.
Oh, wow. 1520 over, Bill. Sounding great.
Oh, you too, buddy. You're ripping her up here.
That's amazing. I want to wait for one more person to get on here so I can go make my daughter breakfast for 2 minutes. Dominic's going to stay on 80 till after Annette. Let's see. Jeff just said good morning. 7275. Jeff. And then Art, I'm sure, will come back.
Yeah, I think him and Dave got into a little bit of conversation there right before, Art just come back and he checked in and him and Dave was in conversation. They'll be here.
All right, cool. Cool. Hold on one second. Why is it doing that? There we go. Okay. Yeah, except I don't want to leave you here alone. You'll lose the frequency.
Yeah, it's kind of rough keeping your head above water when you're by yourself.
It really is. How's my signal looking? Clean?
Oh yeah, it's you can shave with it.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. I always get weird because on my end, on my transmit pan adapter, it blows up like on the upper and lower. But I just think that's the way the Anon shows it.
Yeah, you know what, Doug? You can get a lot of different comebacks when you ask something like that. It all depends how they have her display set too.
That's true. Like DJ has his very, very sensitive. So I remember on the Sun, he used to tell me I had IMD all the time, and then other people would say there is none.
Yeah, it just depends how you got it set. I mean, some people set it real strong, you can see every little speck on a waterfall or whatever. But I don't set mine that. I set mine. I know that it just. Don't get me wrong. I can see when somebody's coming out of band and stuff. I can see it real well. But I don't know. Just like I said, adjustments.
Yep. We got somebody tuning. I wonder who that can... Oh, I know what to do. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Just adjusting this. And we're there. Okay. KB2 UKA. Anyone else join us?
It's still getting it dialed in there.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Hola, Big Radio.
Hello, Mark. 15 over. I'm going to jump off for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'll be right back. KB2 UKA.
M3 or more.
Kilo Bravo 3, Whiskey Bravo X-ray.
10-3, RMR.
Hello, how are you this morning?
Good morning. Beautiful sunshine, 31 degrees by the Harrisburg International.
Well, for the, how should I say this? The polluted skies of south of Pittsburgh, 32 and overcast.
Polluted skies of Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh's not big enough to have pollution.
I don't go there enough to know, and I'm okay with that.
Oh boy, there's truth to that. I guess the closest big city to here would be, it's a toss-up between Baltimore or Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but I know I'm not a big fan of Pittsburgh. I try to stay home, so I'm away from it, and so you know how that goes. The farther I stay away, the better it seems like I am.
Yeah, I don't like cities either.
But it's okay if you have to go there just for a little bit. So I guess.
So I'll be making a few photonic watts today due to the sunshine. It's been a pretty gloomy winter all this winter so far here.
Yeah, same here. Not the best winter at all. Hey, give me a second. I'll be right back. Hey, Mark.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm going to two-tone real quick. I got to set my amp.
Hey, take your time.
Well, to the best of my knowledge, as soon as my pure signal kicks in, should be, there it is. It should be pretty good now.
I didn't notice anything really different about it. I can only monitor a radio filtered out your tones quite adequately.
Oh, but yes, it looks really good on the amp deal. So we'll turn it up a little bit to give it a little bit of something so people can hear me, and check my amp view again, and that ought to be marvelous. That's yeah, right there looks great. That's the way it should look.
Oh, you're 40 over here.
15 over here, KB2 UKA.
So, if I'm going to come into a winning lottery ticket and have more money than I'll ever be able to spend in a lifetime, what radio should I get?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. What's that $20,000 ICOM they make?
Okay, let me narrow the parameters just slightly. I'm not wasting $20,000 on a radio. Let's keep it under $7,000.
Well, you said winning the lottery.
Yes, but I can't justify throwing that kind of money at a radio. I mean, maybe a yacht, a castle in Versailles or something, but not a radio.
Well, if you want SDR, there's Apache, Sun, and Flex. And if you want conventional, if you're going to go conventional or hybrid, maybe the big, what model is it? The big Kenwood.
The 890?
Is that the top of the line?
I think that is their best offering at the moment. The 990s, they're big, impressive, but the 890 outperforms it. So the 890 is probably of course, that's Ray approved. I don't know if you know Ray or not, but anyway. So yeah, I was kind of thinking that way too.
Yeah, if that's the direction you wanted to go. Or you could go real crazy and get an Andromeda, which is my radio, but all in one, all included with knobs.
I like knobs.
Jeff, how you doing?
Who makes the Andromeda?
Apache Labs.
Oh.
How you doing, Jeff? I thought I heard Jeff. Who else is... Bill, you still in there? Is it just me and you, Mark?
No, you got Jeff. I don't know if you're calling me Bill or not, but you got Jeff here. KB3WBX.
Well, I was calling you before I called Bill. You must have had... You weren't at the radio, probably, or listening. But yes, I said, good morning, Jeff. And I thought you were gone.
Oh, yeah, I just heard you say something to somebody. I didn't know who you was talking to. I thought you may have heard somebody that I didn't, so I didn't really know, but you know what I mean.
I want to know how you guys found a clear spot on 40.
It took me about 8 minutes. Jeff, do you hear Mark?
Oh, yes, I do.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, it was rough, man. 40 seems more crowded today than normal, even though it's always crowded in the morning. But I found this little wedge right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think there's a contest on or something this weekend.
Wouldn't know.
And 10 meters is once again wide open.
Oh wow! 10 meters. We should try, Jeff, especially like the Anons. We should try 10 meters, even at night, with a lot of power. And if we could hear each other, that's a great place to do real wide single sideband.
That would be fun to try, you know what I mean?
I used to talk to like guys in the tri-state area late at night on 10 meters, even with my vertical, and I was able to hear them, and they were able to hear me. So I know there's groups that get on, I'd say from the Pennsylvania to the New York area.
And there's AM activity up at 29 that's on pretty much every morning now, too.
Vertical up for 10 meters, so that ought to be okay.
Yeah, that should work. And I heard you too, Mark.
Yeah, yesterday morning I worked Copenhagen. The morning before that I worked above the Arctic Circle into the northern tip of Sweden. And yeah, it's pretty much open to Europe every morning now again.
Yeah, that's great. That is absolutely marvelous. Absolutely marvelous. Okay, let's see. Guys, I got a two-tone for a second. I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah. I do that once in a while too, Mark.
Yeah, but my filtered gear is out better.
All right, there we go. There we go. Nice and clean.
You know what I do? You ever look at your linear view, Doug?
Yep, all the time.
Yeah, mine is a little wide right now, but it's running pretty good. Well, my SAT is running at 20, and I'm running a 161, so that's not too bad.
I'm at 16, and I'm running at like 153.
Last night mine was a little low, but yeah, like I said, I'm running a 20 and a 168. But I'm not tuned perfect, but it's still it looks like a big squash, just one little curve on the end, so it's not really too bad.
Yeah, mine I'm 40 and 80. It doesn't run as best as it could. But that's because of SWR. Oh no, it's working pretty good right now. I'm watching it live. Yeah, it's working pretty well.
Oh yeah, that's what I do too. I watch mine live all the time, and and make sure it's going to do okay. And I tell you what, it does. It really does. It makes it look really nice. And just a minute, I'll show you a picture of mine, and it does very well. That picture there, that's not too bad. But I tell you what, it's getting really close, and you can adjust it on the fly. So right there, mine is absolutely perfect. I'll put a picture of it on the Signal.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see the picture. Go ahead, Mark.
Can you step on the floor and don't say anything?
You mean key down?
Yeah. Just don't say anything, but stomp on the floor. Huh?
What do you got?
Rumble.
I'm sorry, what do you got?
I like it when my headphones rumble.
Yeah, I have a good amount of bass, but I think it's balanced well.
Oh yeah. There's I can't tell any distortion in it or anything, but my $20 expensive Walmart headphones don't get an opportunity to usually get to these frequencies with most other amateurs' signals.
Yes, and I don't know how low you're listening, but I am transmitting 20 hertz low.
Oh yeah, it's all the way down. Whatever the I can only monitor radio can get.
I don't know what that is. Is it below 100?
Oh, I think this goes to. I'd have to see what my filter setting is here. Hold on.
I don't think it goes too much below 80. But yeah, there's still energy there.
Goes all the way down, I think.
I'm only running 3.5 watt right now. And Doug, did you get that? And that's running an SAT at 20 and 155.
Yeah, that's cleaner than mine. Let me show you mine. Hold on. And now, mine is perfect above 40 meters. But 40 and 80, it looks like this. But it's whatever. It is what it is, but it's clean still. There we go. Sending it now.
Yeah, mine, you can turn your amp as you're talking, and you can make that thing do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, I'm turning mine down. Mine's even actually way better right there, so. But, I don't know. It's all good. I mean, they work perfect. And I got that coupler from Clean Signal, or Clean, which one I got, and it works great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get out to 3.5, and a brick wall stops right there.
Yeah, and then that's me running. Like I said, I don't care if my SAT's 20, or I don't care if it's 21 to 11, 12. It's all good.
All right, so let me try this. I want to adjust the amp while I'm talking. The input. Let's drop it a little bit. 1, 2. Okay, so I've got to drop it. 1, 2. This is very clean now. Very, very clean at this power. If I pump it up a little bit. 1, 2. Yeah, we get screwy, I tell you. So I'm going to send a new picture to you that's cleaner.
All right, hold on a minute. I'll run mine wide open and watch this. I'll go directly 1500, and it's going to correct. Let me get this pulled up, and then I'll set my amplifier. Give me 1 minute. So my amplifier's a little wide now, and all I do is just narrow it up, and let me see. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and let me see. Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's getting better. So anyway, that right there's pretty close right there, and that's about 1500.
Yes, I am seeing on my scope, Jeff, your energy is a little more balanced across the entire spectrum of your spread there, and Doug's has got a lot of lower end energy in it.
Yes. Now, if I I do. I do have a lot of lower energy in it. If I switch, so watch this. I will switch to my 3K audio profile, but I'll stay at 4K transmit. Hold on. Okay, so now this should have less bass, but there's still bass in there, but this should have less.
Yeah, no, I don't like the way that sounds, Doug. That sounds, you're missing too much of your intelligibility audio, which is your upper range, lower mid-range area, just sort of almost disappeared.
Yep. Now, if I make my transmit bandwidth 3K, that should bring it all together.
It just sounds more narrow, but you're still missing that lower mid-range intelligibility. You got a lot of high squeaky and you got a lot of low rumbly, and in the middle where all the intelligibility is, it's greatly reduced.
I like this 3K. I thought it was pretty good. I listened to it for about, 300 recordings.
That's just my opinion, though. I mean, I'm just one person.
Yeah, it's very, very, very subjective, but I'm going to go back to 4K. Hold on.
All right, now while you're listening, I did change mine up a little bit, and so anyway, right there, I'm running almost perfect. 18 and 160, 162, and like I said, I didn't take too much of the bottom out, right?
No, it's very nice.
And that's a perfect linear form right there. And I'm doing a pretty good bit. I don't know. I would say right now I'm running about 800-900.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm going to stand by for a sec.
I'm not used to seeing this much sunshine this early.
Yeah, me neither. I know what you're saying. Hey, I got to run. So if Doug's not in there and he ain't, you know what I mean. If he ain't in there and he's gonna, whatever he's gonna do, I gotta go do a little bit of stuff, and I'll be back later. I gotta go help my buddy out, so he needs some help. So I'm gonna sign off of here. I'll be back maybe this evening. KB3 WBX, and you guys have a good morning.
Day, and hope it all works out, and we'll catch you another time, and 3 or more.
All right, Jeff, take care. I am going to get out of here as well. I got to hop in the shower and get my day started. Mark 73, Jeff 73, KB2, UK clear.
Have a great day. Until next time.
Just, take into a consideration. If I need anything, let me know. But like I said, I don't listen on a good set of headphones, so it's hard to actually tell exactly what you sound like.
Well, it sounds great. I love it. I love it. All right, guys, take care. KB2, UK clear. All right, have a good day, everyone.